This galactic supercluster map is showing us that we most certainly live in an electric universe. Now, this arrangement of planets of our early solar system and its ultimate demise is the story that virtually no one is talking about. And these ancient Hebrews are using those symbols associated with that polar configuration and its collapse. And you can see the winged disk here and the polar configuration here. They even use the Ouroboros. This is a symbol that the occultists use. Why are they using it? And why is no one talking about this? Unbelievable. Here we have the Bull of Heaven and the polar configuration. This is why they made the golden calf, because they wanted this to come back. David Talbot was brilliantly correct when he imagined this polar configuration of planets. And they continued to use these symbols for many generations. Again, the configuration. A lot of people will look at the ancient Sumerian pantheon of gods and they see talk of Anu, Enlil, Enki, Inanna, and they try to figure all of this out. Who are these people? Are they gods? Are they aliens? What's going on here? But they will never figure this out without an understanding of this early polar configuration and its ultimate demise. In the text it says, Enlil sits on the right of Anu, Enki sits on the left. And this makes me think of the two columns and the two pillars. The two pillars of Hercules. If you haven't seen my work on the columns, I would hope you would go back so that you can be caught up. And this is just unbelievable. This is the same symbol the Sumerian Shamash, which is mysteriously associated with the sun and with Saturn. And it is the symbol for Ishtar and Utu and on and on and on. And when we have texts that say Saturn was the first sun, Saturn was the best sun, and the word Helios was originally associated with Saturn, it's just undeniable. And during this cataclysm, they saw their menorah on the cosmic mountain of God. Everyone saw it. Enlil on the right, Enki on the left, Anu in the middle. I wish I had read this book years ago, because when I realized the story of the Exodus was the cataclysm of the collapse of the configuration, I felt I was the only person on the planet to have figured this out. And little did I know that this man had figured it out in the 1940s. Take a look at this form. Because there it is. This oscillating torus field morphing into a menorah. On the cosmic mountain of God. This is where this comes from. Back when Saturn was cast out of heaven. And we still argue today over what day is holier, Saturn's day or the sun's day. And the isolated Dogon tribe, they never forgot these symbols. And when they pray, they say Amen. And they unwittingly pay homage to Amen-Ra. And this form from the Dogon reminds me of the Mayans and their one-legged snake god that brings destruction on the earth. Kukulkan. And we see the same form around the world and the same myths of the destruction from the gods. The gods of the planets. That's no secret. And this is the story of us that so few are talking about. And ultimately, this all-seeing eye on our money simply harkens back to the polar configuration, the Eye of Ra, the Eye of Odin, life under Saturn in the Golden Age before the fall of man. As Plato says, Atlantis is beyond the pillars of Hercules, those two columns, those two pillars built into Solomon's temple. The winged disc, the mountain of God, the cosmic pillars, the cosmic serpent. This is where this comes from, the collapse of the configuration. This is why people knock on your door with a Bible in their hands, trying to get you to worship the Jew God. Trying to get you in the fear and guilt control system. And these are the pillars of Hercules, part of which became fully charged and highly visible. those two pillars built into Solomon's temple, the supposed wisest man that ever lived, who eventually went back to worshiping the old gods.